Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? We are playing Kingdom Hearts, and we're continuing on with our little boss rush. I have a really hard file at Sephiroth right here, and I think I have a not so challenging, but fairly challenging thing at Ice Titan here in the lobby. I'm just gonna do my 100 file and take him out because I'm just feeling it. Let me know if you want me to do the harder fights because I'm super down to do it. But for exhibition purposes and the fact that I just kind of want to chill and talk with you guys, I'm gonna be doing these. What's going on? I'm so happy to be recording again. It's, you know, old news, David, you know, recording, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So, I've just been feeling really inspired today, and I just want to, like, talk. Not for anything in particular, like, you know, yeah, I'm, you know, inspired to, like, get recording done and do that, but I'm just, like, my energy feels really good. You know, when I'm not doing this kind of stuff, and when I'm not working at Lululemon, which is retail, it's the company I work at, pays the bills, but, you know, it's not the most passionate thing I have in my life right now. You know, I've been continuing training with fencing now that the school semester for college is back on track. Ooh, okay. Now that the school semester is back on track, we have been fencing pretty regularly, and, you know, that's been exciting. I have a tournament coming up on March 2nd. Ow. And I'm, you know, kind of excited for that. This is why I'm fighting this guy now, because, you know, at level 100, because I can just kind of do whatever I want. Reason I don't have Ultimate Weapon is because I don't have time for doing that nonsense. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I only have 4 combos. That's great. That's how you can tell I fight Sephiroth a lot, because there's a reason you only want to have 1 combo plus on and have 4 hits to your combo, and I'll get into that in a minute. But Ice Titan, he's cool. He's just going to try to do nonsense and, you know, trip me up a little bit. And I try not to run around. Oh, Jesus Christ. I try not to run around too much, because he does that. He does, like, that little stepping thing. But he's got his little stalagmites, his icicles, and you just gotta knock him back. I never had the habit of using arrow when I was a kid, so I never really found out that when you... I never found out that when you arrow, his icicles actually get undeflectable. But deflecting them is a huge thing that you need to do. You can guard those little balls or run around from them. It really doesn't matter. Like, if you guard, the second one will miss you, and you just guard the second one. He's a fun fight. I like him. But it gets repetitive if you're at a low level, and it's just tense for no reason. It's cool bragging rights. Guard that one. Alright. I hate when he does a scatter shot like that. Oh, cool. But every time you hit him with enough icicles, he just kind of falls. Gets a little weak. If you do Ragnarok, you can get some extra bonus. There we go. I actually should have done that a little later. And yeah, he's already almost dead. He's a fun fight. I like fighting Ice Titan. Oh, I missed. There we go. Guard that. Oh, and he's got Sub-Zero moves. Great. That's like a little deep freeze that he'll just freeze you with. Does a decent amount of damage. Very bad amount of damage if you're actually low level. But yeah... So when I'm not working and stuff, and when I'm not recording here, I'm actually really interested in... I say interested in self-help, like, yeah, I consume some self-help stuff. Oh, gosh. But I'm not so much interested in consuming it as I want to actually create, like, a lot of self-help material down the road, you know, because I'm really interested in personal development and growth, and all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah! Big balls of gravity. He's gone. Forever. But yeah, I want to go into writing self-help stuff down the line, and I often come into, like, a lot of resistance with my own self, and that is like, am I really qualified to be teaching other people how to live their lives? I'm only 25 years old, and to some of you that might seem like an old guy, but a lot of people are also older than me who are in the self-help field. Like, you look at Tony Robbins or Gary Vaynerchuk, and they don't even really, like... Tony Robbins is definitely self-help, but Gary Vaynerchuk is more of an entrepreneur, and he likes advising other people. What I want to do is not really tell people how to live. I want to just help people expand the way they think about reality, which is a challenging thing. Oh, okay. Come on. That's why I'm glad I don't need to devote too much mental energy to this fight. Okay. Oh, come on. This is why I want 4. Oh, gosh. Oh, I'm so rusty. I'm glad I'm not doing the other one. Yeah. This is why you want to hit him 4 times, because my timing is still off. Come on. Jesus. Yeah, you can really fudge a lot if you're not, you know, if you're level 100 and not taking crazy amounts of damage. But, come on. Oh, really? Damn, that was dumb. You'll see if I do a low-level run how hard this fight can be. But I don't think it's as hard as people say it is. Because, honestly, his patterns are fairly predictable. It's just, if you're low-level, he can kill you faster. That's really it. Also, I don't have Leaf Bracer. I shouldn't be healing on the ground like that. Ow. Okay. There we go. Oh, come on. I'm so rusty. That's why I'm glad I'm level 100. Oh, that's nice. Oh, jeez. And if you ever miss, just use Arcanum or Strike Rate or something. It'll make you invincible for a little bit. Is he gonna do Omni Slash? Okay. There we go. And I wonder if I can break him. Oh, yeah, no. Sometimes you can just get slip a hit in there, and it'll actually prevent him from doing this meteor thing, which takes a while. I'm not a speedrunner, but I did learn a lot of these things, because I was kind of a Sephiroth fanboy as a kid, so I loved fighting him any game I could. There we go. Goodbye. Let's see if I can slip him in here. Yep, that's great. But yeah, I really... Ooh, jeez. I should have gone for another one. Come on. Just use Strike Raid to take him out. Yeah, he's not hard at all at level 100. He's just kind of lame, honestly. Get lost. One hit. There we go. Yeah. And big balls of gravity. Love it. Wow, I did that in 7 minutes. These guys are insane. But, yeah, like, I run into a lot of, like, conflict, I guess, and it makes me not take action with, am I qualified to really, like, help people, you know, in this regard? And it came from my martial arts training, like, the mental benefits of training martial arts. You know, I'm tempted to take out the final boss, honestly. Let's just do that. If I don't get it all the way, we'll cut the episode, but I have a good feeling about this. So... I could have just done that from the save point, but I digress. When I think about it, it's just like, I guess kind of difficult to get in that headspace of, you know, I may not be as far along as I personally want to be, but there probably are people that I could help out in life and things like that. My Magoober Gummy Ship, I forgot about that. Oh god, you're so beautiful. Oh, I kind of want to do a Gummy Ship round now. Oh, I'm not gonna. Alright, let's do it. Final Rest. Freaking Gauntlet before Final Rest is bad if you're under-leveled. But yeah, so I'm curious, question of the day, I guess. Like, is there something that you want to pursue in life that you kind of, like, hold yourself back from? Because when you think about, like, you're really passionate about this thing, perhaps. However, when you think about going after it, like, you kind of hold yourself back, because that's kind of what I'm dealing with. Like, I'm coming up with reasons to not progress. And I think that's a very real human thing, like, people getting in their own way a lot. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's like human nature, like, you know, especially when we're socialized and living in the, you know, like a first world country or something, like, you often, like, make mountains out of molehills, and a lot of things that shouldn't be problems become problems just because your brain is wired to find problems and all that stuff. So I'm curious if any of you guys have been thinking, you know, about something you're passionate about the same way I have been. Because I really just wanted to, like, take the plunge and start writing articles. I've been thinking about starting up a new YouTube channel where I talk more about, like, kind of fun things that people can do. Where do I go? Fun things that, you know, we can explore in that capacity. I've also thought about a series of self-help on this channel, and it's not really self-help, it's just kind of like, I thought about calling it the Villain's Playbook because, like, let's face it, a lot of us, like, think villains are the coolest story characters, and they're sometimes more interesting than the heroes. And I've thought about doing a series called the Villain's Playbook where, you know, I look at things like social conventions and mental hacks that villains in video games and popular media actually use. Donald's staring at a wall right there, that's fun. And then also having a segment of course, don't emulate this behavior because these are all the things that they're doing that are harmful if you do them, harmful to human society, and drives us apart instead of brings us together. But a lot of the time, villains actually have a lot of admirable qualities, which is why we like them. A lot of them are ambition, drive, conviction, passion. I for one love villains, and I think, you know, there's a coolness to like darkness that, you know, like for example, I'm a little bit more of this ilk. Like I hate paladins and characters like that. I'm really not into that sort of thing. And so that might be a personal thing with me, but I think it is a common consensus. People, especially now, like edgy characters, you think of shows that got successful like Dexter and Mad Men. People like villains, especially, and anti-heroes more so now with Daredevil and the Punisher and things like that. You know, I think there's something profound about, you know, let's say, for example, this game, Xehanort, who has his personality splintered across so many different selves, all working towards his ultimate goal of harmonizing light and darkness. His tragic flaw is that he embraces too much darkness over the light, in my opinion. Like, he talks about striving for balance, but because the light is so strong in the universe, he actually seeks out darkness to kind of balance that. But in the process, I think he kind of loses himself to darkness in that. I don't know, I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3, so I don't know how that story wraps up. Don't tell me, please, because I want to play it one day. But so, yeah, that's kind of where my brain's at right now. I'm just thinking about stuff like that. I know they're having an important monologue, but cutscenes, man. I can't skip them!
It may even give in.
But I've learned that deep down there's a light that never goes out.
Deep down there's a light that never goes out.
It's kind of cringe right now, but when you're young and playing this game, like, you're like, fuck yeah, Sora. You know what's up.
So you have come this far, and still you understand nothing.
And that's how I feel now as an adult when I talk to people. Still you understand nothing. And that's us. That's inside all of us, you know? Perhaps I'm a little biased. You know, I do believe a lot in, like, the darkness of humanity, and, like, you know, while we're talking about Kingdom Hearts, I'm gonna use that buzzword, darkness, because, you know, a lot of Jungian psychology, for example, like, he talks about, you know, Freud talks about the id and the ego and this, you know, that kind of thing. The id is like the darker side of compulsion, your sinner side, and all that. And then Jung, I'm going through this really briefly. Like, I could deep dive into this, but I won't. Alright, no, don't submit. I know he's gonna do that. Oh, that sucks. But if you look at Jungian psychology, he talks about, like, the shadow and how a cool way of he talks about a process called the integration of the shadow, which is actually a really good thing for human development. It's when you know, let's say, like, a lot of us are socialized to be very nice because, you know, human, you know, society, like, benefits, you know, civilization has flourished on people cooperating and things like that. What are you gonna do? Oh, here he comes. There we go. Get out of there. I don't want Terror to submit me. Oh, come on. Let's do it. Okay, Ragnarok. I can still hit you. And is that going to be it? Come on. Get out of here. Woo, big balls of gravity. So, it's kind of something I gravitate towards when people are, you know, and I think it also, like, appreciating the darker side, you know, one's, you know, darker nature, you kind of have a lot more empathy for people who just piss you off in general. You're like, okay, this person, you know, may not be far developed, or, you know, they might not see what they're doing as they present themselves to the world. However, you know, I have a lot more empathy for people who are just like, you know, because we're all fucking confused and waiting about through life, you know, not really knowing what to do. Some of us went to college, some of us didn't. Some of us are getting masters, some of us are getting PhDs, some of us are not. Like, some of us are billionaires by dropping out of college. Like, it's crazy how many paths there are and how many things. Like, there's no one answer to life, and so that's where I'm at right now. And I'm just like, I think if people could, like, respect each other's stories and stuff like that, you know, you'd first of all be a lot happier and more tolerant about things. Killing the dark side is ridiculously easy. Like, I'm gonna probably kill him. Oh gosh, get out of here. Do I not have MP haste? That's crazy. Strike rate. I'm just kind of showing off all my moves. Alright, if I just spammed Arcanum, I probably could have... Oh my god, so many Mega Elixirs. I can probably just Ragnarok you. There we go. This should kill you. Is that gonna kill you? Oh, fine. I'm gonna get your face, you big Magugulus. Thunder, and one more. Oh, one more. Goodbye. And big balls of gravity. Oh, love it. Oh, hello, shadow thing. Okay, we're gonna pause the game because I need to reset the recording because the next stuff is gonna be just forever. By this point, I think we're all acquainted with my camera's ability to shut itself off after 20 minutes of recording, because it's a DSLR, it's not a video camcorder. It's a still photo camera, so they put that in to avoid taxes and stuff like that. Fun fact of the day. Alright, I could have totally done this part because I forgot about it. Get out of here. Fucking Ansem. Ansem-Not-Ansem. I'm still always going to call Xehanort Heartless Ansem. But yeah, so that's where I got... Oh, no, submit. Oh, he submits even if you're invincible? That sucks. He can freeze you like that. That's terrible. Get out of my body, Terra. Oh my god. You suck. You suck. You suck. You suck. Use gravity on you. Oh my god, that does a decent amount of damage. It's kind of chip damage, actually. Oh, that's not gonna guardable. What do you got? Oh, that's guardable. Come on. There we go. So, I've thought about a series called The Villain's Playbook, and, you know, we would just talk about, ooh, what's good that villains do that you could integrate into your own life, and what's, you know, not so good. Because, you know, that's what I think we should all strive to do. Be good people. And make life better for ourselves and those around us. You know, I'm not going to go too soapboxy with that. Because I think, honestly, at the end of the day, if you look out for yourself, it's just going to trickle down to the people around you. Like, I'm a little bit more, I guess, self-absorbed to that extent. But I do believe that you have a better platform to help people around you if you help yourself first. That's, I think, a huge thing. Because, oh gosh, because a lot of philanthropists and millionaires, they had crap going on with their lives, and they had to dig themselves out of that hole, and once they have that abundance, then they can share it with people, and the return on society is that much more great. I can't believe he missed me there. I love how, oh, come on, really? Get out of here. This is fine. What do you hope to accomplish? Okay, some chip damage? That's all you do? Great. That's cool that this is the Guardian coming out of here. I love the Guardian, by the way. I love how twitchy he is. And, you know, the story of the Guardian probably came out way after you know, they programmed this boss fight. So I think it's cool that they added those story elements. That was also easy. So, yeah, you know, so it's kind of like integration of the shadow is the thesis for that video series idea. I think it'd be kind of fun to just kind of explore, like, what's sexy about a supervillain. Like, I would talk about, like, why Bowser's a great dad and why you should do the things that make him a great dad and potential husband, and why you should avoid the things that he does in pursuit of those things, i.e. stalking, kidnapping, and all those things. And also, not just that you shouldn't do those things, because that's plainly obvious to the majority of us, I hope, but also, like, also understanding that, like, what is the psychology of people who stalk people, of people who kidnap people, of people who, you know, I'm not going to go too dark, because there's a line where I don't want to get you guys too uncomfortable, but the psychology of people who are, you know, who do bad things. I'm not going to go into serial killer territory, serial R-word territory. I know that word can be upsetting, so I'm not going to go down that route. I'm not really a big fan of, like, political correctness, but in a public forum like this, I'm huge on it. Like, I can compartmentalize. Like, personally, I kind of roll my eyes sometimes, if I'm being totally honest, when people talk about being PC. But in my own life and when I do things, I think being accommodating to people who use situations you don't understand is actually really important. So that's why I'm actually, you know, even though I don't think about it much myself, I'm actually huge on it when it comes to things, you know, especially media. Like, I'm kind of like of that You know, I think I'm a big mass of contradictions, and so I think of I think one of my other theses of life, while I'm just talking about stuff, is that the key to life, the meaning of life, actually, I found, I think it was just 2 years ago, I came to a consensus in my own self, is that the most simplistic answer is that the meaning of life is balance, because if you look at everything that stresses us out, it's often in an imbalance in some capacity. And sometimes people seek out to amend that balance in healthy ways, and sometimes they seek out to amend that balance in not so unhealthy ways. I love how I'm just mashing at this fucker. Speaking of pursuing your goals in unhealthy ways, let's take a look at Ansem. He's an interesting case because Xehanort's the one who's misguided, and when he got himself split up, this part is just the part of him that's obsessed with darkness, like, amplified greatly, so I think that's really cool. From a storytelling, you know, capacity. Like, ironically, even though Ansem and Xemnas are huge threats, in a sense, they're incomplete, which makes them kind of tragic. Like, they're half of a human. Like, this Ansem is the dark being that's created because Xehanort's heart. And what's in Xehanort's heart, the ambition, the desire to create this balance, but in creating that balance, he sought out darkness, and so I think the embodiment of that is represented right here. And there's and you know, he's also turned Terra into, like, this crazy thing back here. You know, what's left of Terra at this point, because all we got is his will, and this might be his Heartless, it might be his soul, I don't even know. Oh wait, no, I guess his soul is his will, so I don't know. It's a thought experiment. Let me know if this sounds interesting to you, by the way, or if it just sounds crazy, because I will admit, my thoughts are still a little bit scattered. I haven't, you know, organized them into any sort of writing or any sort of script for a potential video. But yeah, I think that'd be fun, like, doing, like, let's say, like, if we did Bowser, it'd be like, what makes this guy a good dad? Because that's, like, a common internet joke, like, that he's, you know, a great father, and, like, he goes the extra mile for his wedding and all that stuff. Obviously, you know, he's going about it in so the wrong way. We look at someone like Xehanort, who, quite frankly, has lost his sense. Why? I got so many potions out of these guys. That's crazy. I don't think that's ever happened. Maybe I have jackpot on or something. I don't know. Hey, we got this. I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna kill it. Oh, that exploded. That exploded hardcore. But yeah, so Xehanort, he's got his own thing. Let's think of some other villains that would be fun to do. I mean, there's a lot about Darth Vader. He has a lot of admirable qualities, which is why he's one of the most popular villains ever. He's powerful, he's ambitious, he's not just powerful, like, he's, like, mentally strong, he's politically powerful, as well as, like, you know, strong with the Force and all that stuff. Oh, I love the choir in this song, that's awesome. And of course, his flaws would be that, and you know, all those things are, like, you know, fairly admirable. I mean, political power might not be very admirable quality right now, especially for us Americans, but... Ah! Come on, guy. Get out of here. But, you know, and then, of course, his flaws are that he's completely lost his sense of self by renouncing his humanity and... What the heck? The darkness and... sorry, not the darkness, that's Kingdom Hearts. The dark side in Star Wars. You know, he kind of gives himself up, you know, his agency to that. The idea is, with the storytelling that I really like in Star Wars, is that when one becomes a Sith, they actually cease to be their former self. You know, and that's evidenced through their Darth name and all that stuff. And feel free to correct me angrily in the comments if you're a big Star Wars fan, because I'll be the first to admit I'm not that crazy about it. That's just my understanding of it. So bear with me if I completely butchered your childhood by assuming things. Ow! You suck! That guy's just a dick. There's nothing to unpack there. He's just darkness incarnate. Some guy is not a cool dude. Maybe some guy was a cool dude, and that's just all his dark side, just incorporated into one little ball of aggressive fun. I hate dark balls. If I was lower level, this would be a pain in the ass. Well, let's get into the... What do we got next? Invisibles. Those are coming up soon. And those guys are just cool to look at, honestly. There's another fun villain. Sephiroth is kind of cool. Especially if you consider his motivations and what led him up to his downturn, because eventually, by the end of the series, he's a demigod, and he's kind of pure evil, pretty much. But before that, he has quite a bit of humanity. He's just an elite soldier who's probably very well trained. You know, we can't relate to this part, but he is genetically gifted for quite intense reasons. Because he's, you know, science experiment and all that stuff. Big, you know, customized test tube baby. But you know, he's an elite soldier. He's climbed up the ranks in soldier. He's a general or commander or something like that. Which is, you know, an admirable job, I suppose. I'm gonna thunder you. Goodbye! So yeah, he's like... And, you know, he's similar. He uses... I wouldn't say it's admirable that he uses mental manipulation of Cloud to get what he wants, but let's say... Let's soften it a little bit. His understanding, his profound understanding of human nature and his connection to Cloud, also being in connection with other human beings, is huge. Think of your best friends and all that stuff. Obviously, we're not going to manipulate them into handing us stuff that can summon a giant meteor to, you know, destroy everything. However, being intimately connected with someone, which is, frankly, is the connection between Cloud and Sephiroth, it is how he's able to get a hold of the thing that would represent him achieving his goals. Obviously, his tragic flaws are kind of how he goes off the deep end and interprets the meaning of his origin in a completely wrong way. He's convinced that he's the true ancient, or I think actually after he joins the livestream, where are you? He understands the truth that he's actually not an ancient, but he's actually more identifying with Jenova. And so that's kind of what really twists him into being like, well, my mom was in truth this extraterrestrial thing that just kind of sucks the life out of a planet and moves on to the next one. So I guess I gotta do that. So I think that's where he really kind of goes nuts. And that's a cool lesson to learn too, because you aren't what your parents say you gotta be. I know this is kind of amusing and kind of funny, but in that sense, and I would unpack this more if I actually did the supposed... Where are you? Oh, there it is. If we actually did a video on that kind of concept... Oh, whoops. How do I word this? If we actually followed through on that kind of concept, I would try to, you know, really articulate it and, you know, draw those parallels where, you know, Sephiroth is under that kind of... He's not really under the influence of his mom. He kind of just ran with what she put inside him and made it his own, and it's very unhealthy and destructive. So I think it's keeping an eye on those things, like you are your own person. Like, if someone that was not if someone that was not Genesis told him that he was a fucking monster, he probably wouldn't have locked himself down in that basement and in this little echo chamber where he could have, like, really had that psychosis and burned Nibelheim down, which is kind of like the huge incident where he, like, sees all the monsters and associates Jenova with them and realizes that he is in fact that. If he had someone that he was able to let in and convince him that he's actually not a monster, that would have been so helpful for his character. Oh my god, that killed that thing, my god. Goodbye. Oh, I have no magic. There, now I can thunder. Ah, okay. Just sparky tip of the Keyblade. But you know, I think that kind of video series would be fun. Because it kind of ties my understanding of psychology with my love of video games, and I think that could be really interesting. And that's an idea I thought of instead of going the route of creating a separate channel for, like, my stuff, because I'm interested in doing stuff like rapport building and kind of talking about limiting beliefs and ways you can hack your psychology to believe that, you know, a lot of things are possible. I don't know, that kind of stuff really excites me. Real power! Oh my god! Oh my god, did I fuck him up? He's dead. He's dead! That's the fastest I've ever seen him got taken out. Also, that was a cool ending of that show. You didn't even get to see that thing blow up. Well, you get to see this whole thing blow up. He just looks tired. He's like, ugh, my darkness. So, yeah, I mean, I was really feeling... Jesus Christ, did you hear that vibration? This is insane. And he's gone. Big explosion. And that's why you don't devote your life to seeking darkness. But yeah, those are some of my ideas for kind of, you know, where I would like to go with the channel and things like that. Let me know if you want me to make an update video kind of articulating this stuff a little bit more, because I kind of like talking about it. And I'm pretty sure people who are watching this series might not, or people who are not watching this series but watching my stuff in general might miss this, and I think it's kind of a cool thing. Or, just tell me if you want me to fucking start this series. The other series I thought about doing, and this ties more into like my film degree and my love of storytelling. I thought about doing this thing called Monomyths of Gaming, where I break down video games. Oh, sorry. Where I break down video games and in accordance with the hero's journey. Sorry again. In accordance with the hero's journey by Joseph Campbell, and you guys understand, like, the hero's journey is this thing in storytelling. I'm sure a lot of you guys know about it, but it starts with, you know, the call to awakening, and where the hero kind of, you know, is the master of his domain. He understands the world as he sees it. Eventually, he receives some sort of supernatural aid or call to adventure that thrusts him on a quest, where he kind of takes the known realm, goes to an unknown realm, and goes through trials and tribulations, which get broken down further in the hero's journey by little beats and stuff. Eventually, he kind of, like, masters that, takes a boon, which is knowledge or an item or something, usually a MacGuffin, Triforce, I'm looking at you, and he brings it back to his known realm to spread knowledge or goodness and peace or whatever the virtue is for, you know, and come back stronger or more influential or something. I really skated by that, but the idea is that, you know, that is a reality that has been existing since the times of the Iliad and the Odyssey, in all fairy tales and things like that, and I would love to analyze it for gaming. Example, Kingdom Hearts. Sora is a plucky kid. He dreams of adventure along with his friends. They're about to go embark on an adventure, and that's their known realm. They understand the world. They already have the desire in them to see other worlds. We get into why they have that desire early on in Birth by Sleep and stuff like that, because they learn about things. However, insofar as the context of Kingdom Hearts 1, all we know is that these kids have a desire for adventure. What really happens, I guess this is more of an inciting incident and a call to adventure, is that the Heartless come, the world gets swallowed up by darkness because the door opens, Sora gets the Keyblade, and that starts his arc. Riku also starts an arc for his own story. And, you know, Sora then becomes the Keyblade Master, and he goes into the vastly unknown realm of all the other worlds that he goes to, and he learns stuff. You know, they do things like meeting with the goddess, you know, he meets up with Kairi, like Kairi's the MacGuffin the whole time. He finds out that Kairi's actually inside him the whole time, and he has to release his heart, which I believe relates to some of the other stuff in the hero's journey. It escapes me right now. His meeting with the father could be seen as either Riku when he gets absorbed by darkness, or just Xehanort Heartless Ansem himself. Ultimately, the adventure results in him sealing Kingdom Hearts, closing the door, and he brings light and peace back to the world, because there's a lot less Heartless after this. We found out that they're not all gone, but, yeah, that's the whole thing. I'm pretty sure my camera stopped recording, or is about to, so I'm gonna end it off here. We're just kind of floating through the ending. Oh, hey! And he meets his princess. Even though they don't do anything romantic, maybe they finally do in Kingdom Hearts 3, we'll see. But yeah, so thank you for hearing me out, and thank you for watching this. We kind of brushed through everything. Let me know if you want me to do Sephiroth and Ansem, really. Like, I don't think you guys want to see me do Ice Titan. But let me know if you want me to see me do Sephiroth with a harder difficulty, as well as Ansem with a harder difficulty. And if that's not the case, if that's not where we go after this, then in the series ends right here. Thank you for watching this little boss rush, and I will see you guys in the next Let's Play series that we do, and hopefully in another cool, like, more dynamic, fun, specialized video series. One of the two things that I mentioned today. Let me know what you guys think. I really want to know. Bye. Have a great one.